a lot of time, those parents, they stress, but they try to hide, they try to hide. They don't want us to worry. Or he let us know, yeah, when the gunshot, getting closer, you go downstairs and find a safe place, the cave, he make. And also, another thing is, all you guys have to study good and things like that. But the next day, back to normal again. Maybe this is a wartime, we didn't send the difference at all.
Interesting.
Yeah, at that time we didn't send a different at all. We think it's we in the wartime, but who's war and the war? We don't know. We don't know nothing until 1975 when the country fell. Then we are kind of shocked and we are kind of stunned, and know, oh, what's going on.
And when the country fell, how was your everyday life after that?
Oh, you couldn't believe it. The first day, second day, when the country fell, we feel, to our feeling have to be happy or worry. We are kind of confused, but why we confused? One side say, oh, no more war. Well, of course, you're happy. You don't see any war at all from now on. But another side, you don't know the system, communists, how they look like, how they react like, we don't know.
Right.
Yeah, but after, we go back to school, oh, we will see the big difference. All the students, they have to exile to the farm field, to work. And of course, brainwash is another thing. And all the teacher in school, we when we go back, we don't see our teacher anymore. We see new teacher. And later on, we see our teacher, before, come back to school to do things, to teach, but they already re-education.
Oh,
they send them out to re-education and practice a new political introduction. Because totally different, politics is totally different now. So we scary at that time. We worry. We say something wrong, because when you say something wrong, they probably frame you up, with the name, counter-revolution, and you in trouble. At that time, we try to, to stow away, try to escape separately. My older brother and sister, they start first, and they escape, and they end up to Australia. Yeah, but for us, we at that time, I still young, about 17, 18 years old. I stick with family. And my father decided this time, they already got there, the older sister and my older brother got there. Why don't we, the whole family, go? And he decided that.
That was a decision he made for the family?
Good and bad. Good and bad, because, not like, people think you escape if you fail, you end up in jail. They let you go, but everything with money, bribery with money. Yeah, but the bribery with money, not 100%, you save, because why?
Right.
Because you give the money, bribery only for the local government.
All right.
When you go out to the ocean, you will face a different group of people.
Right.
Just like a pirate, they wash you out everything, they take away everything.
Do you remember any thoughts that you might have had when you were traveling to United States? Anything that
at that time we don't know where we end up to. Yeah, we don't know.
Oh,
because the first thing, you just escape safe, out the country. Then okay. Then when you get to the refugee camp, you have to register.
Right.
Yeah, you have to register, and all your paperwork will send out all over the whole world. So that's why a lot of refugees end up to Australia, some to France, some to Germany, and
Mm,
some to United States. Not everybody come to United States.
right. And
They
you,
find a sponsor for you. Who want to sponsor? Those. I mean the refugee. Yeah. So you don't know. You don't know where you go really.
so you said your family decided to go and sort of separate and then go, right? It was your brother and your sister that went first.
Yes,
Who did
they went out first, and they got to the Australia.
right? And who did you
Yeah,
travel with when it was your turn to go?
I think after years later, and we decided the whole family go.
Oh, and how many of you were there at the time?
At that time, we have about my mom, daddy, and five kids, seven, eight member.
That must have been
But
some
yeah,
travel.
tell you the truth, unfortunately, my father not make it.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he passed away on the refugee camp in Malaysia. He probably, we spent 2 weeks on the ocean. He probably be hungry and sick and all kind of damage in the body. So when he get there and he's sick and very sick and he passed away.
How old was your father?
55.
Well,
Yeah, but still a lot of, messy thing going on, a violent thing going on, because, when the refugee come to one place, because we all have to dig a well to get water for ourselves.
mm,
Yeah, they don't support that. They only support some, rice and some vegetable meat, but very small amount. It's good enough to survive, but not good enough to be filling up. Okay.
right.
Yeah. So a lot of things we have to do it by ourselves. Yeah. So we have to go fishing by ourselves, go to dig well, to get water by ourselves. Everything, we do. Yeah.
Mm,
We live like a caveman.
wow.
Yeah.
And
Oh, go
But
ahead.
how are
the refugee camp, when we arrived, they treat us very well, because at that time is when you arrive, have a Red Cross over there.
Right.
Yeah, the Red Cross in the refugee camp try to help people up, but after up, then a lot of things you have to, to do it by yourself. And you just put your name on the waiting list, send out to all over the world, and find a sponsor for you. If you're lucky enough, another few months, they call your name and say, "Oh yeah, you will be in Australia, or you will be in, yeah, US at that time." That's
Do
the
you
only
remember
time.
when you first came to the United States, what were your first impressions? Um,
Uh, I couldn't believe it, but when I first got here, is end up to San Francisco. I get a church people on Venice Street, have a big church. They respond whole bunch of people.
right,
So very nice. We can go to get some, old clothes, people, donate. And we get a place, to study, like second language,
right.
ESL.
Oh, ESL. I took
Yeah,
ESL.
yeah. Yeah, and very nice. All the teacher very nice. Yeah, and we learn a little bit thing. Then after that, and we I have to move on. So I moved from San Francisco to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Oh, big difference.
I can imagine.
When I got out the airplane, I see all the snow as hell. Oh my God, I want to go back to San Francisco.
When you went there, in terms of your social life, being a young adult, did
Mhm.
you have it? Was it hard to make friends Because you came.
I already have a friend. That's why he talked me into it. He wanted to move out there with him. He work in the restaurant. That's
Oh,
from that on. My job is a restaurant work in Pittsburgh, and after that, and sometimes restaurant is. If we find a job, restaurant provide everything, a living place for you, and the pay is good. Then we go. So I go. I from Pittsburgh, I go to Ohio. I go to New York, and after that, I have another friend, call me, in Denver, Colorado, and I moved back to Colorado. And at that time, I have a family. Yeah, I meet my wife and family.